All right, B Money, let's talk, man. So you played ball, you're trying to get back into playing ball. Now you work with some kids, a lot of kids. Like what has that transition been like?
The transition of working with kids, I think I've always had that passion. Like it's always been there, but I always been about me trying to be a professional first. So I kind of put them to the side. But now that I'm injured and I'm with kids all the time, I'm dealing with 10, 12, 13. Then I got the after school stuff where I'm going from K through sixth grade. So I'm dealing with a lot of kids. And I think that transition is making it easier for me. I think the kids make me feel younger, if anything. So that gives me some energy every day to wake up and do something. And also just helping, man. Being in the community that I'm in with basketball made me open up the avenue to go into the school districts. Because I think a lot of these kids need some role models or they see some professional athletes out there that are still in the area that will help kids. But honestly, man, I love what I'm doing. I would do it every day.
So you think you can do this for like till like you're 50 or whatever?
I could coach kids forever. I could help kids. I think that's just what's in me. I just love helping the next generation.
Now, do you feel like it helps because you're younger? Like what do you feel like how is it so easy for you to think that you're able to connect with kids?
I think it's easy for me to connect because I don't know, I got like for me as a kid, I felt like when I grew up, I didn't have like a lot of mentors. I didn't have trainers. I couldn't afford this. I couldn't afford that. So it's like I feel like I got free game to give to the kids. Like I know I'm getting paid, but it's not exceptionally like very well, but I got free game to give to the kids. If I can share knowledge to a kid and help them exceed in life, like I feel like that's the biggest reward for me.
Yeah, what are some like easy things that like a kid can learn from you? Like, is there something they learn from you day one that they can take with them as either a player or a person?
I would think for me, it's kind of like character. Like I treat every kid, every person in the building the same. I'm not trying to be above anybody. But I do like the aspect of working hard. And I think you know that for me as well as working hard. So if we got an assignment to do, or like for one day I did robotics with kids, and I know nothing about robotics,
Yeah.
but it pushed me. So in order for me to give my all to the kid, I gotta go to school early, make sure I know what I'm doing, and making sure that I'm making the kids do this as well and doing it at a high level because one of them might fall in love with it
Right.
and might take this on with life. So I think just the aspect of they see me showing up, working hard, having good energy, that's something that they will take from me.
Yeah, I mean, who are their role models now? Like in the NBA and the league, like for you, it's Kobe. You know,
Yeah,
like I don't follow it like that. I mean, I watch basketball, but I don't feel like for me there's someone out there like that. That's like playing
yeah,
right now where they have that. Like I think we're very fortunate to see some of that. That I think that helped a lot of us in some ways. Like, man, this guy's working. Like.
exactly.
Is there someone like that they see now? They're like, oh, I want to be like that, or do they still like looking at Kobe and Dame? Like, what are the kids looking at now?
I would say a lot of the kids, being in California, they're gonna say Luca or LeBron. And also, I'm heavily in the Asian community. I don't want to say the baseball player's name wrong,
Right,
the pitcher, and
right.
they like him as well. But you still hear kids say Kobe, but
Mhm.
now that I'm in that K through six, they don't really know too much about Kobe, so they have to see Kobe. But we have so much access to media now that they probably do see Kobe a lot because he's everywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's always Luka and LeBron from what I hear from kids.
And then I mean, what do you like share stories of like how you learn from someone you maybe not have met and how you've taken that to your life?
Always like just like behind me, Kobe. Like
Yeah.
that's all I knew as a kid was Kobe.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me nobody was better. Michael Jordan was better, but it was just the work ethic. Seeing him show up every day, injured, sick, tired, he still gave it his all, and he knew that somebody like me, like I think it's the greatest quote is like he said, like he wanted to show up because some kids or some parents saved up all their money just to watch me play one time. So
Right.
I always have that in the back of my head. Like I gotta show up, man. This one kid might see me one time and I'll make sure he's leaving on a good note.
Right. Yeah. I think it's Yeah, it's cool to like grow up like that. We've had some of those, quote unquote role models to grow up to, whether it was like a baseball guy, a football guy, and
Yeah,
I think it's like I think it's cool to have that. And I think I don't know if we're like missing that as much. I just feel like I think just when I know I think LeBron works hard, but I think people don't realize that they just see like he's talent. I don't think
yeah, exactly.
understand that like you actually like you don't just show up at 40 years old, from luck. Like that's not a thing.
True.
I'm 40 years old now. Obviously I'm not a pro athlete, but there are things that you have to do to move at a high level if you want to be 40 years old doing this. So it's not like a luck, a genetics thing. So I don't think
Yeah.
you realize the work that he puts in it to be able to perform like that.
But I think from what I'm learning from the kids is, bro, there's so many different avenues than just sports. Like I show up and kids are calling me I Show Speed 2.0. Like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Everybody wants to be I Show Speed. They see the Twitch, they
Yeah.
see the YouTube. So there's so many avenues that these kids are seeing now.
Right. Right. It's like from what you see, is college pushed as much as it was for us, or did they kind of say like I just do whatever?
I don't think college is pushed as much as us. Like I don't see, I remember growing up, there was a lot of college readiness. You would get a lot of internship people like come to the school. I don't see that as much now. So it's more, it's different, but I think we're accessible to everything to understand what we're consuming and what we want to be too.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's like yeah, that's not like the golden ticket anymore. So I don't know how it's going to be like in 15, 20 years what the world's going to look like. I'm not saying
Me either.
I'm not saying go or don't go, but it's like it's just going to be different. Like we pretty much had like go to college. Like it wasn't so
No,
much like get this degree. It was like no, just go to college and then you'll figure it out.
exactly.
It's just different now, right? Like, is it going to be AI influence or how much AI is going to be used out there? Does
There's gonna
that,
be so many different jobs
right,
popping up that we ain't never heard of.
right. Or does that help us in some ways now? Because now sports is one of the last things that you can't automate. You can't get the short answer. You
Yeah,
gotta you gotta put in work. So I don't know if that helps us, or people like don't want to do it because of that. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
that is true. That is really true.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I use AI. I think it's all used now, so I think it's just pretty common. Like, why would
I'm on I'm on ChatGPT all the time
right?
because like I'm doing science, technology, engineering, math. So sometimes I'm in that, like I say, robotics. I'm like, "Man, I got it. Let me ChatGPT this real quick, make sure, or watch a YouTube video, make sure I'm doing this right."
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy that you're just doing like robotics for that young kids. Like, these are like what you think of people are doing in college. They're doing that now.
Yeah. And then like the school district I'm in, I think they're well invested in the kids too. So like we some of the kids will make a robot and it's like it's dancing and I'm like, bro, I didn't even make that. Like, how did you do that? Some of these kids are just actually just naturally talented.
Right,
It's crazy to see because I didn't have access to that. Even if we had three computers in the whole school.
right.
So, everybody's walking around with laptops. We grew up with normal backpacks. These kids are coming in with suitcases because they got laptops in there. They got all types of equipment in there. It's just different at this age.
Yeah, it's hard, right? It used to be. I mean, do you feel like now, like basketball is almost like the rich kid sport now? Like, there's not a lot of sandlot guys that make it. They're just like you got to be AAU, you got to have the skills coach, the trainer. Like, do you feel like that's changed a bit?
I think that's changed a bit. I think basketball is a rich sport, but I'm also going to say every sport is damn near expensive. To make it to that next level, you're going to have to get a trainer. You're going to have to know somebody. You're going to have to make connections. But from what I'm seeing, basketball is a rich sport. You also got to be in the right place. So like for me, I coach 3-point swish.
Hmm.
We're not sponsored by Puma, we're not sponsored by Nike,
Right.
but we go to these tournaments and it's like, okay, it's good basketball, but when you go to like these junior EYBLs and you're like, bro, these kids are on a different level and why are they playing like this at the age of 12? So like I'm still at that level where it's good basketball. It feels like a little bit of rec.
Hmm.
But I like dealing with those kids more because they still have that humbled in them. Like, okay, maybe I can't afford it. but I still got Coach Brandon here. He'll take the time of day for me to get me better to hopefully build a connection and I can help you get to the next level. I mean, either it's junior college, D2, D1. I think I have enough connections to get to help kids. But once you get into that bracket of Nike and all that, man, it's different,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. So let me ask you this, like, I think like especially for me, when we grew up, it was kind of like we had to like visualize it. We had to like imagine it. We had to imagine
Yep.
I'm so and so, I'm throwing a ball, I'm so and so, I'm running a route. Like, do you give kids guidance on that? Because everything now for them is like they can just find the answer instead of just
Hmm.
like trying stuff for themselves. Like, the little bit of basketball I play, I would like, all right, 5, 4, like
Forward.
like someone telling me
Yep.
to visualize the shot clock counting down. It was like I did that. Like, do you do anything like that for the kids that kind of teach them how you play the ball because you didn't have the fancy
Hmm.
skills coach?
I think that's one of the main things is imagination that I tell kids. So for me as a trainer, I'm like, okay, let's do it between the legs, crossover, and hit the shot. Okay, then I'm gonna give you 5, 10 positions on your own. You make your own move. I'm not telling you what to do, and I rebound for you. And I want you to stimulate all the moves that we did, but put it in your own field. Use your imaginations because when I'm not here and you're at the park by yourself, at least you know, okay, I'm gonna do this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the imagination of the game is lost because everybody's used to the cones, coach telling you what to do. Like for me, okay, we could do all the drills in the world, but when it goes to a game, you got to read and react. Somebody might cut you off. You might have to make a behind the back move, or you might have to make it between the leg. Like it has to be natural. So you have to keep using your imagination, and that goes with I'm doing like a life coach experience with kids too. So I got my 12-year-old kids. We're doing like a life coach experience where like I want you to be college ready. I want you to get on Zoom calls with college coaches. So you got to keep imagining and putting yourself in that field to get to that next level. They say only 1% makes it, which it might be lower now,
Yeah, I think it's
but
a lot.
I think it's a lot more lower than that, but you gotta keep programming your mind and putting that imagination. Okay, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Because I feel like that's how I made it.
Right.
I always imagine, if I was like, oh, I want to win a championship in Ireland. I want to go play in the Middle East. I imagined all that. I want to go see the pyramids. Boom, I played in Egypt. Like
That's
you
crazy.
gotta, you gotta, you gotta speak it into existence for it to happen.
I think people like they're like corny. They think it's corny. They don't believe it. I'm like, that's fine. You don't believe it. Like it's fine. Like I believe, and this is why these things have happened. I think it's like these are real things. Like whether it's a religious thing or a spiritual thing or a universe thing.
Exactly.
It's like whatever thing you believe in. I think you got to believe in it. And you just gotta say these things to the world, and it does happen. I think. I think people are so like, oh well, I'm not going to make an NBA. I'm not. Doesn't mean you can't have these cool experiences playing in smaller leagues. There's so many ways to go pro and do these things, right? I think people are like, well,
Exactly.
no D1, no NBA. I'm not doing. That's crazy. Like there's so many other avenues playing ball to make money, especially with like basketball is a global sport now. It wasn't like that,
Yep.
10, 20 years ago. It's like that now. You can like I see those things pop up on my feed now. Hey, we need a 3 and a 4 to come to Australia or whatever it is, like, and it's paying like 10K a month. It's just crazy.
Exactly.
You're playing basketball, like you're playing, and I think as I'm saying this now, is like you are playing, and I think people forget that they're playing. Yeah, I want to go do this. I'm gonna go to this, but like, dude, if you're playing the game, like forget like playing. Someone doesn't always need to tell me how to play. I just got to go play and figure things out. I think
Yeah.
like a lot of the sports stuff, I don't see as much, and I think with basketball, it's a little bit better than other sports because you do play pickup. Like people aren't playing pickup baseball. It's highly organized. I think that's where basketball still gets it right. Like, and I think some coaches tell people not to play runs like that. And I think that's where
Yeah.
you go play these J Law ball or just whatever at the park.
Exactly. For me, I tell my kids, man, bro, go to the park and just go play. Like, I grew up getting on the bus, taking that bus ride, and going to the YMCA and playing with older guys for 2, 3 hours. That's how I got better. Some of them might have let me play, some of them didn't, or let me play. So it's like, bro, that's how I got better. And I used my moves against older guys. And then when I got to the game, I'm like, bro, I could do it. on you if I could do it on older players. That's
Right,
how I
right,
got better. And you know, those guys back in the day, they treated you, if you're out there in the court, they treated you like an
right,
adult. Now it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit different. But back
right.
then, you had to earn your stripes to play. And kids need that. They need to go to the park.
Yeah,
That's you're still using your imagination the
right.
whole time you're at the park. I think the park is the greatest thing. So I watch kids go to the park and they're like doing different stuff on the swings and the slides, and I'm like, bro, like you're using your imagination. You're just having fun.
Right. I think that's what it should be. Like I think whatever sport you're playing, you gotta remember you're playing the sport. I think we get so caught up sometimes and doing the work. I mean, obviously, like you said, it's important to work hard, but I think it's so good to just play. And like for me, throughout life, even though it's working out, playing a sport, or just doing stuff, like everything's a game to me. I gamify everything, like how
Yup.
can I make this fun? Um, I think that's what like I've seen other people who are good at their careers or higher level or doing successful things with their lives, like they have like a play component to what they do, or they make
Hmm.
you can see those things. Like those things are in life, like we've been fortunate to be around the McCains, like the kids having fun, man. It's so cool to see. I know there's some like old heads. I'm like, why are you so mad at a guy
Yeah.
playing a game? It's a game. Like I don't care how high that level is or how low that level. It's a game. It's got to be fun. I think people lose sight of that stuff.
That's one thing about like Jace I learned. And you know, when we were going through that time when we were training and playing, bro, Jace always had fun. So I think that rubbed off to his brother. It was like, bro, it's never seemed like a time where Jace was like, nah, he's grateful to play today. Like he was always happy to play. And that's why I loved working out with him because it was like, bro, you happy to be here. You just want to be here.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't think people realize that it's like all of this is just a game. Like it's not that like it's not that serious. I mean, I'm a little bit on the other side. I'm like I don't view anything as too serious unless I'm dying, and then even then I'd probably make a joke about it. I don't.
Yeah.
You can't make a life like that. You can make it too serious, and it's not fun, right? I try to make everything fun. Now, do you do that when you do like regular learning somehow? You know, like because we're teaching, like you said, robotics. Like that seems like it's pretty like this, right? Like how are you able to teach that to some kids that makes one dance, makes one dribble? Like how are you able to make it like fun for them?
Okay, let's say for instance, like in the after school program, we had like 2 weeks of basketball. They wanted me to do basketball, and it's all beginners. I'm like, man, okay, how am I gonna get these kids to be excited to, first of all, get on the blacktop? It's like 90 degrees, play basketball, and kind of do it at a high level. So for me, one thing I made interesting is I always try to find that one person who's good to lead by example. And then they'll kind of might compete with him and then kind of compare like, nah, he's not better than me. Or maybe he is better than me. Let me learn from him. So that's how I learn. So I usually like line up kids. Let's say I get 4 lines. I try to put the best kid in front and they demonstrate. Eventually the kids are like, no, let me demonstrate after a week. Let me be in front. So that's what I try to figure out with the kids to bring competitiveness. But dealing with after school kids is different because they want to have fun. They've been in a classroom for 8 hours, sitting down, and now they're outside. So I like for them to play. Let's try to play 2-on-2, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, shooting competition. It's more about competition. It's not more like let me sit here and drill you for days. Let's make it competitive. Let's take 10 kids here, 10 kids there. First one to make 10 threes wins, and the loser has to do a down and back or something.
Right,
It's
right.
just bringing that competitive spirit because at the end of the day, nobody wants to sit in the classroom for 8 hours. So
Yeah.
I understand what the kids are going through.
Yeah, that's a long time. I kind of, I mean, it's been so long now. I kind of forgot that's how it was, like, because in college you go there for an hour maybe, right, and you just bounce out, go another.
Yeah, bounce out.
You only have like two or three maybe, right? And it's like, man, these kids are like sitting there all day, and they may not like, based on my understanding, the PE, isn't like how we had PE,
No,
like,
I don't think PE is the same anymore.
yeah, and
It's totally different.
I remember PE was so fun. I would just be so mad when the class was over. I'm like, fuck, dude, we're having fun. We're just getting into it. And then the game's over and there was no winner or loser because it was 8-10 and it was like, oh, it's over. So it's like, I think, yeah, like I think we need to have more PE. I'm biased, but I think like humans were like meant to move, like be outside. There's like an indoor thing that's not even real. Like that's not
It's
like
not.
it's like we're inside right now. Like it's not even like you're supposed to be, outside and be in the sun and all that stuff too, right? So
Even if you take your class outside, like that's still good. Your kids open up their mind. They're not just sitting in one room and
right,
just staring at a screen. Like I've seen some teachers take their kids outside with their laptops and they kind of let them sit wherever and they got good space. Like it's always good to get outside, bro. Like nobody wants to sit in there all day.
right. That's tough. I know. Okay, so for you, you had like an injury recently, a pretty severe injury. Walk me through like the mindset, did you like were really sad for, a week or two, or you're like, all right, bet I'm gonna move on from this. Like, what are some things that you went through mentally? Like what have you learned from that?
Um, First and foremost, I didn't even understand what was going on. I didn't know what a ruptured patellar tendon is. So when they told me that, like I was just lost. Like, okay, what is this? Like, who can I look up that went through this and got through it? And it was so hard to find. I was like, bro, like, does anybody come back from this injury? Like, what is this injury? Because I'm thinking the whole time it's ACL.
Right.
They're like, nah, it's a ruptured patellar tendon. I'm like, bro, what is that? I've heard of tendonitis. So it was just like that first month, I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I was confused. I was like, man, what's the process? I'm looking up on YouTube. Like I see guys doing it, but they're like older. It's not
Right.
younger athletes like me. It's like guys who's had messed up knees. They're like 50 and it happened. I'm like, bro, what do I do? So the unknown was the part that killed me. So having that unknown kind of messed up my mental because I'm like, bro, it's hard for me to find any information and how long does this actually take?
Right.
So now when I had surgery and the surgery was like having surgery in Argentina was really tough because I wasn't around family. I was like I had a maid that was taking care of me. Thank God that the team gave me a maid. She made food for me. She was looking out for me. Just not being able to do anything on your own, that was the worst part. And I'm used to doing everything on my own, showering, getting up, using the bathroom. Like that was hard. So that first month was like my mental was messed up because I'm so used to doing everything by myself. But once I started going to PT in Argentina, that's when I started to realize, okay, I started looking up more. Okay, let me go on ChatGPT. Let me dive into what I really need to get better. So it started building more confidence because I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, man, when am I ever gonna walk normal?
Right. Right.
Mind you, it took me like 4.5 months to get back to walking normal.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if this is if am I doing the right steps? Am I getting there? And Argentina is not America. The advancement level, like the technology we have. So I feel like that first month they did good for me. Then that second month, I was like, bro, I don't know if I'm making the right steps. So that's when I started going in my head, like, bro, I need to go home. I need to go get some real PT. And that's when I was telling you and asking you hella questions,
Right.
calling you because my mind is like going on 1,000. Like, how do I get back? How do I get back? How do I get back? So I got to ask a lot of questions. And there's a guy named Mike Kreppe. He ruptured his patellar tendon. And I just ran across his page and I've known him, but I didn't know he ruptured his patellar tendon. I must have seen it and just scrolled past it.
Right.
I DM'd him. I was like, hey, bro, like, he's like 40. I was like, how did you get through this process? He said, this is what you got to do, this, that, and the third. So that made me even more clear. And he was like, if I was you, I would go home
Yeah.
because that's the best therapy you can get. So once I got home, I felt way better. I started getting access to new tools, started learning new things. I didn't feel like I was being stationed doing the same thing every day because that's how it felt in Argentina. It got to the point where, me being in the chimp empire for so long, I'm like, bro, I'm about to try something. You're not pushing me enough, I feel like. So I started trying stuff and I'm like, bro, I can do it, but why aren't you telling me
Right.
I can do it? So once I got back home, that's when I started feeling better. I started seeing Edgar, and then I got introduced to Dr. Pat and Encino, and he took it to a whole nother level. Like he's dealt with a lot of athletes. He's dealt with players that had this injury. And when I tell you, like the first 2 days when I get in there, he's like, "Why are you still limping when you're walking?" And I was like, "Bro, that's why I came to you. I'm trying to figure it out,
Right.
bro." After 2 days, I started walking normal.
Yeah.
So it's like you now it's like, okay, I need to get that deep tissue massage. I need to get that scraping. I
Right.
need to get that. There's so many tools, you know what I mean? We call it tools, but it's like you need all that to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But my mental that first 2 months, bro, it was shot. Like I didn't think I was gonna ever be normal again. And I still have days where it's like that too. Like, damn, man, like, am I ever gonna be able to run as fast as I was?
Right.
Uh, I started shooting. I think like on Monday I was training a kid, and I was like, man, give me 10 passes.
Mhm.
He gave me 10 passes. I'm going left, right, and I'm shooting and I'm jumping. I was like, okay, I'm starting to see a little bit of progress
Yeah.
because I couldn't do that 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was kind of like nasty. So you seeing little stuff day by day, straightening my leg, lifting my leg up now,
Yeah.
being able to jog. I'm doing yesterday. I started doing a little bit of plyometrics, so
Okay.
like 2 feet hops, land
Yeah.
safe, doing small stuff.
Yeah.
But I think right now my mental space is good because I got a good schedule. I'm coaching, doing
Wow.
the school, then I got PT, so I'm in a good flow. That's what I think a lot of people need is a good schedule.
Yeah, I talk about that too. It's like, yeah, like people are like, oh, I don't want to have like a job where they make me do it. I'm like, okay, okay, that's great. I don't either. So how are you able to create something that you have purpose? And like a lot of people can't handle that freedom, like you have to create
Hmm.
like a routine, It doesn't matter what the routine is. It could be whatever, but you got to have something that gives you purpose and, gives you like a sense of you're doing something with your life. I think that's so important. So now, like, what's like the biggest thing you learn from this setback? Now, do you see like, hey, I'm gonna play again? I don't know yet. It's just like I'm gonna start coaching now because I see this now. Like, what is that? What is
Yeah.
one thing you're learning?
Obviously, obviously I want to play again. Um, I'm not like I said, I'm not forcing myself to play again. If anything, I'm learning more about myself outside of basketball. What am I actually really good at?
Right.
And being around kids, I can write pretty good. Like, I don't know, I fell into like poetry a little bit. It's like I think poetry gives me a way to escape or write down things that's in my head. But I just love coaching, man. I don't know what it is. I love coaching. I love helping kids. I love helping communities. I think I just got an open heart for that. But basketball is always going to be my first love. And if I do get the opportunity, I think I would take that opportunity. And I'm still training as if I'm getting ready to play. So
Right.
that's what a lot of people mistake is like, I want to be that same athlete or even better.
Right.
I'm not just going through the motions with my PT or showing up every day lifting. Like I'm training like I was before
Right.
because if that opportunity does rise, I'm gonna be ready.
Right.
And I know that I took the right steps. Like I want to really play in Puerto Rico. That's one of my goals. After seeing Puerto Rico, I was out there for a week. I was like, man, I could play out here. If I could just find a little place, try out for a team and make a team, I'll play there.
Are there like a lot of Americans there? Like, I'm not sure how it works. I don't, I know it's
Yeah.
American territory. It's very confusing to me how Puerto Rico is.
Well, Puerto Rico is highly competitive because they get a lot of NBA players.
Oh,
So like they might get like Hassan Whiteside, Brandon Knight, like they'll pay big money for those players,
yeah.
like JaVale McGee.
Oh, wow.
Um, but they got a lot of locals that can hoop too. So it's
Right.
like a local being Puerto Rican. So that's why I say if I was to live there as the season goes on, take care of my own housing and get a contract, and then that contract takes care of my housing at the same time, I could play there. You know what I mean? I know I can make a 12 to 15 man roster team.
Yeah.
And it's just like just getting that opportunity, man. I'm just trying to find the right opportunity. I don't want to start off playing again in Syria or
Right.
Iraq. I'm like, man, I need to start somewhere where I'll feel comfortable
Yeah.
about myself. And I know that I'm gonna get the right trainers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get therapy for my leg. Like all that stuff matters now to me. Is like I need more access to things. I can't just take care of myself. I need a lot more access.
Yeah. So okay, so talk to me about this. Like you're like, oh man, I can make a 12-man roster, I can make a 15-man roster. Like, where do you get that confidence from? You're like a small guy, especially for a basketball player, and then you came from a small school. Like,
Yeah.
where do you get off in believing like that, you know? Like,
I think I've always had that since I was a kid. I was always like not on the best teams in AAU. I go, you got the top team, then you got the second team. I was always on the second team growing up, and then eventually I got good enough. I made the first team. In high school, I played for a smaller high school, and then I told my dad, no, I want to go to the city school. Now I want to challenge myself. Made the city school team and played well, and we were successful. Then I started at junior college. I knew that me being a small guard, yeah, I need to go at junior college. I need to take an advantage of this time to get stronger, get faster, understand the game more. After my first year, I did okay. Then I came back first team MVP, and I'm like, okay, now I'm making the right steps. Now I'm at the next step where it's like, do I go D2? Do I do a walk on, a D1, or do I go NAI and the coach lets me ball out? And I had all those opportunities. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna go where the coach is gonna let me ball out because I know if I ball out and I want to be a pro, they're gonna look at that resume. So I always just had that aspect like, bro, I'm gonna make it. Like I just know. I don't know if it's gonna be 10 games in the season, 5 games in the season. Like I know I'm just gonna make it. I just always had that as a kid. Like I'm gonna make it. Like I just nobody could never tell me you weren't gonna make it.
right, right. Yeah, I think it's such a. And I wish like we can get that out for people. You know, like I don't like because I don't know. I'm like, why don't you know? Like, why don't you just believe in yourself? If you never done something before, why think you'll suck? Like,
Yep.
why am I, why the hell would I think that? And people like laugh. They're like, you're cocky. I'm like, no, I just don't think I'm gonna suck at it. Like, I don't know why people. It's like a natural thing for some people to do. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna suck at it. I'm like, why? Like when I went fishing, like my whole family was like, man, you're not gonna catch nothing. I'm like, why would I think that?
Why?
I
Exactly.
didn't
Now I'm
catch
not gonna
anything.
catch it.
I didn't catch nothing, but I didn't think I was gonna not catch that. I was like, I'm gonna catch something. Like, why wouldn't I think I'm gonna catch something, you know? And I think
And
like,
that's like for the kids too. They're like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do it between the legs. Bro, you gotta try it.
all right, you gotta
Like
try it.
just
Like,
do it.
yeah, just do
Just
it.
do it. You know what I mean? It's like Nike, just do it. And that's
Do
how I
it.
always as a kid, like I'm just gonna do it. Like if I fail, I fail. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's such a weird thing. I hear it like all the time, and like I almost get like pissed off. I'm like, why are you even thinking like that? It's just so
You know?
crazy. Just
But
like
I think a lot of kids or a lot of people in general just ain't failed enough. I feel like I failed enough
right.
to be like, nah, if I can fail doing this, I could get up and do it again. You
Yeah.
know, taking 3 steps back to take 10 steps forward was always my motto.
Right. I think it's just a cool, like such a cool, like mindset thing, you know, like I think all that stuff's important. Having a schedule, having a routine, you know, like all those things that you talked about, it's such a thing. And I think like, you know, people misunderstand like a positive mindset. Like a positive mindset isn't like you're just like this happy-go-lucky guy all the time. A positive mindset means,
Yep,
hey, I got this thing. I'll get there. My knees hurt, but I'll get back. It's not like, oh, you know, you're just like this super positive guy all the time. I think it's like, hey, you know, like you'll get there. You'll find a way, you know?
exactly. You got to check the box, and every day it's not going to be a positive day. Like you're trying to make it positive. As long as I got through the day, I did what I was supposed to do. I'm gonna feel happy, even if it was the hardest day ever. If I got through it, I know I'm gonna feel better. It's just checking off that box every day.
Yeah. I remember you mentioned something a while back too, like you trained with like a basketball player that was well known, high level, and sometimes that gets to your head. You're like, oh crap. And then you train with them, and then you did like the workout like better than them. He like didn't last, and you're like, oh crap. Like I should be here too. Like you know,
Yep.
like talk to me about that. Like what are some things you've seen that like maybe you saw a guy who's higher level than you, and then you go out and do it and you perform better. What does that feel like, and what's going through your head when you see stuff like that?
I've been around a lot of basketball players now being in California and also where I'm from, Tacoma. But some people are just naturally gifted with the height, the size,
Right.
the skills. But when we show up to go train or work out, I'm like, bro, this is how you work out. Like, it's not what I expected because I know I have to work hard. I'm 5'10",
Right.
small guard. not highly recruited. I got to show up every day as if there's an NBA scout watching me because anything can be possible. So I always learned from those guys too that I competed with. Some some people would tell me like they're highly more recruited than me, like, damn, you work hard. Like, yeah, bro, I know I work hard because nothing was guaranteed to me. I didn't have no networks like you. I didn't have anything. I'm a
Uh-huh.
small guard. So they learn from me as well, but I'm also gonna compete. Like I really don't care what your name is. I don't know where you play. Like I that doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I know I'm gonna be a professional and I might see you one day. It could be in Iraq, it could be anywhere in the world, and I'm gonna have to compete against you. And me watching you up close and personal, and I see your work ethic is just motivating me more because I'm in the right steps. I'm doing the right things I'm supposed to be doing as an athlete. And you know, it's that Kobe mentality. You got to be a killer in everything you do. So when I show up to you to go lift, I'm trying to kill it
Right.
because I know some people are gonna go in there and just go through the motions. But nah, I'm trying to kill it. I'm trying to learn from it
Right.
because eventually, when I have to go do it by myself, I'm already in that mindset. I'm gonna kill it. I don't need a coach to tell me what to do. And that's why a lot of these kids now, I got a trainer, this, and he's telling you what to do. I didn't have that. I
Right.
had to show have my own imagination, my own motivation to get where I want.
Yeah. When I used to coach football guys, you know, I would light them up, I'm flaming them up. I'm like, hey man, like they're doing all this, you're not doing it right. And they're like, what? I'm like, dude, how are you gonna if you can't handle a little Asian guy yelling at you now, how are you gonna handle, when a linebacker comes at you or you're a firefighter and things don't go your way and they're like, damn, dude. So like I think, for me, I like to push buttons a little bit, but partly it kind of helps me too, because I'm pushing your
Yeah.
buttons. I better have my stuff dialed in too. So yeah, I think it's so cool that you mentioned the stuff with like kids, how are you going to do it on your own? It's easy. It's actually people like, oh, I got coaches. I'm like, yeah, that's easy. That's very
That's
easy.
easy.
Someone telling you what to do. That's easy. Like, how are you going to do it when you're by yourself? Are you willing to, Like I think that's like the separator, whether you're an athlete or just like a professional in the world, like how you going to handle all those things.
And I
Um,
think like 50 Cent even said it himself, like, how are you gonna run the treadmill when there's no music? You're gonna be thinking in your thoughts, you're gonna be all in your head. So I'm like, that's always in my brain too. Like, bro, I don't need music, I don't need anybody. Like I gotta be my own biggest motivation.
That's pretty crazy with music, but yeah, without music, but I think that's cool too. Like sometimes we're like, oh, I have this, I have that. Like no, you're whether it's caffeine or whatever or headphones, like you got to be able to do it without some of that stuff sometimes. Are you real? Because if you're real, you can do it without music. Because what's gonna happen when you play in a different arena and they know you don't like this song? Like now they're winning. You're letting them win the mental game. Like you want
Exactly.
like as an athlete, you want every little edge that you can get, and that could be like for me, it's like it's always like breathing. I'm like, this guy cannot breathe. I got him already. I don't even care what sport it is. Like I know he can't breathe. I know it's in his head, like and if for us, like being like the underdog type, you gotta find any little edge, if like they don't like that song, all right, I'm playing that song. I'm in their head now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always fun. So talk to me about like your you have a pretty good sleep habits. Like talk to me about like your nutrition habits, I mean, I think it's fun to go eat Chick-fil-A or whatever too, but like talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Is it something that you share with the kids you work with?
I would say my eating habits have always been pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, I think I have the body type where I can go get a Chick-fil-A every now and then. But I don't eat out every week. I try to take like 3 weeks off or on a special occasion if I'm with my kids and my teams and they want to go eat out, eat out. But man, I wake up every day, I have my coffee, some water. I try to intake 3, 4 eggs. I eat eggs every day. That's probably the best nutrition. And I learned that from you is eating eggs. Um, but I don't eat a lot either. Like I used to eat a lot, but I don't eat a lot. I'll eat eggs, then I might eat at like 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and it might be a good solid meal: rice, chicken, beef. Um, I love eating steak every like once a week.
Yeah, that's good.
Um, but I think for my injury, it's all about sleep and the amount of protein you take.
Yeah.
So, I'm taking like my protein shakes. I'm taking some. some other stuff, some supplements to help my body recover. But that 8 to 9 hours of sleep is probably the most important thing I can get,
Yeah.
knowing that I'm driving, I'm doing PT, I'm on my feet coaching, and I'm doing the school. I need to go home immediately and go to sleep and get my 9 hours
Yeah.
because my body needs to recover. And I felt like when I got hurt, before I got hurt, I wasn't sleeping a lot.
Oh
I
shoot.
was I was up all night, chilling, messing around, not shutting my brain off.
Right.
So I think that's an important thing is to shut your brain off. And I learned how to shut my brain off because now I'm stuck. I couldn't move. I'm going to sleep. So you just you just understand how to shut your brain off because now you're like, bro, I can't get up and do this. So
Yeah.
I love just keeping my schedule, going home, going to sleep, waking up, doing the next thing.
And is that like your schedule? Is that like 3 days a week, 7 days a week? Like how do you maintain that? And then is there like what's how are you able to stay like motivated or disciplined to do that all the time? Like how do you do that?
I mean, for me right now, I really only get like one day off
Mhm.
because I think I have coaching every day in the week, then school every day until the school year's over. And then the weekends, I'm traveling to go coach in Orange County, Rancho, Corona, whatever. I'm in those areas to coach. So it's a full-time thing. Um, I think just to be motivated is like I kind of look at what some people are going through, and I'm like, man. I can if they're going through that, I could show up and wake up every day and go do what I do because I actually love what I do. Nobody's really forcing me to do anything. Um, and my injury opened my eyes like, okay, you got a hard injury, but somebody's going way through worse than an injury. If it's either cancer, a tumor, like you know what I mean? And I grew up seeing my mom uh go through the tumor process. And I that's always in the back of my head, like, nah, bro, I could get through this. It's just a little minor ligament that I gotta strengthen.
Right.
That is way tougher. So all those things is always in the back of my mind. Somebody's going through something way more worse than me than
Right.
what I'm going through now. So I'm trying to stay out of that emotional me stage. It's like just have an open mind, bro. Get through it.
Yeah. I think you kind of talked about this before, like well it's like the my favorite's like the Dame quote.
Yep.
Like pressure, do you have pressure when you play basketball? It's like no, like real pressure is figuring out how you're gonna pay your bills and all that, like that's like the realest thing ever, man. I think like you kind of like you mentioned earlier, is like, yeah, you're grinding, but like you're not out there like some of these people who have it way harder, like
Yep.
that's always the thing to remember. Like in the day, I'm wearing fucking shorts to work, and then like
Yep.
I'm hanging out with kids or hanging out. For me, it's more like adults, but I'm just hanging out with these people, And for me,
And I've been around the world enough to see some
uh,
stuff, and I'm like, bro, I'm humbled, bro. Like, I don't need to be having all this flashy lifestyle. That like, nah, bro, I'm cool. Like, I know I'm super grateful to be where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it's good that you saw it that way. I think like I've been fortunate. I was born in Hong Kong and I've seen some other places around the world. You're like, I think more us Americans need to go out and see other places, how
Hmm.
see how good we have it. It really changes your perspective, or like, or even for us, like training, coaching, like that's a pretty easy job. Be
It
real.
is.
Pretty easy job, man, Like you're not stuck in an office 8 hours a day. You're not out there in 90-degree weather picking heavy stuff up over and over and over.
Hmm.
Like I think it's cool that
And if anything is benefiting your body, what you're
right,
doing in your mind.
right,
You know what I mean? I'm not, like you said, I'm not out here at 90 degree lifting rocks and throwing this and that and the third, but it's like, bro, if I get to train every day and I know what I'm doing, my mind's gonna feel better by helping this person.
right.
Helping somebody else's business might make my mind go all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Is there one more question for me? It's like, is there like a quote or a book or like a movie that's kind of like always inspires you? That's something you can share with somebody that like to keep them going, maybe to maybe develop some of that mindset stuff that you have.
And I wrote this down in the pandemic. There's no off season in this game of life. That's in my bio.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down. I don't know where it came from. It was just my imagination sitting in the garage in the pandemic. and
Yeah.
that's always been in my brain. Like there is no off season in this game of life. Like there's no breaks. Even if you feel like I'm gonna go on vacation, nah, man, you still got to do something. I don't know if it's on the laptop, you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to help your client. Like there's no off season. So that's a motto in my head. There's no off season, man. You got to keep going. And I kind of stole it from J. Cole too, because his album was called The Off Season.
Mhm.
And then in my head, I'm like, J. Cole, bro, you know there's no off season. You came from the grind, the gutter. You understand how humble it is to get where you're at, man, and you're still chasing that dream. So I took that and reversed it. And I was like, man, there's no off season in this game of life.
Yeah. Dude, J. Cole's crazy. He's just playing some like pro league, didn't he?
He was playing in China's top league,
That's
and
crazy.
he only played one game, and they sent him home. But it's like, bro, they use J. Cole knows what he's doing. They using him to create a bigger platform and awareness to basketball because they did that in the basketball African League as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying J. Cole's not a hooper. He's a hooper. It's just he's not a professional.
That's pretty crazy. Like he's good. Like he's a good basketball player, you know?
Yeah, so it's great to see that I can still hoop and rap. Like, bro,
Right.
I get to get paid to go play. And everybody, like for me, we all dream professional. If it's not the NBA, let's go to the CBA, China Basketball League, and go get $1 million to go play. And J. Cole's getting to do that. So it's like, bro, it's good to see him do that too. And it also makes us basketball players humble. Like, okay, if he could do it, I could do it.
Right. Like what's that? What's like what is holding you back, you know? I think that's cool. The It's funny, I have a similar quote. I went to Laverne, a small school, and that was like my strength coach, Coach Durant's like quote, one of his quotes, like real life has no off season. Like you don't have that, you know, like, and I think sometimes like the way we go through school can you mess you up because you're always, oh, I got summer break, I got this, I got spring break. I'm like, you don't have that in the real life.
Mhm.
Like you got to be doing something, you know. So I think I've always loved that quote. You know, I think it's like there's no off season. Like, you know, that guy doing that job out there, he ain't got no off season, man. He's out there, you know.
Exactly. You got to show up and work every day.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't have kids yet. I'm not married, so it's like I know I got to install that in my brain sooner or later, and I got to keep working. If I think I'm working hard now, wait till I got to feed
Yeah.
somebody else or take care of somebody else. I'm gonna be working even 10 times harder.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely easier to take care of just yourself. Definitely,
Trust me.
definitely easier, you know. And it's good that you understand that. I think some people like don't quite understand that, you know. Maybe it comes from you, like seeing your mom, you know, and having like a good foundation, you know. You saw the people before you grind, and it's like disrespectful if you don't put in that effort too, right? So,
Exactly.
is there some
What is
is there stuff you
what
tell your kids that? Wait, sorry, go ahead. What is it?
Uh, I was gonna ask you, what are some things you've learned in the past couple of years, I don't know, since the pandemic that you've taken now into your life to consideration?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I just think it's harder out there, and you know, people like I see both sides of this. People like to complain, like if I work 40 hours a week, I should be able to pay for things, and I agree with that to an extent. But I also agree that
Hmm.
like, no one's stopping you from picking up another job. So like,
Yep.
no matter what situation you're in, we're in like you travel the world, like whatever situation those people are in, or they're probably in that situation. Like they're probably stuck there. We're not. We can get out of it.
Hmm.
You can go make a YouTube video. You can drive Uber. You can go work security. Like I'm never worried in that sense that like if something were to happen with my career, I can do anything. You could like
Hmm.
we're so lucky that we have these opportunities. So like if all of a sudden you lost your job as a teacher, you can't coach no more, you can drive Uber. Like it may not be the thing that you think is nice, but I mean like you can grind yourself out of any situation in life. Like in where we live, you can, you know.
And I'm so glad you said that because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't have that mentality. It's like, oh, if I quit my job, I'm gonna go find another job, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. Bro, in the meantime, you might as well go do DoorDash or something and make a couple bucks while you're trying to figure out what you're gonna do. Like, there's
Right.
nonstop money in California. You can't do that out the country.
Right.
Like, there ain't no DoorDash, no Uber, like,
Right.
it's none of that in some of these countries.
Like there's
In these countries, if they did have that, they'd take it to full advantage.
right, right, right. Yeah, it's like that. that immigrant grind is different, man. Like, when you
Way
come from a
different.
little bit less, like that grind is different. I'm always like, all right, like, yeah, if this would happen, great, that's fine. I'll learn from it, and I'll do this. Like, there's nothing stopping me. Like, if I wanted to work more, I could do it right now, So like, so
Hmm.
I don't ever like complain. I'm grateful for what I've got going on, but I'm never gonna complain because I just know that like you can just like do more. Like, no one
Yeah,
stopping anybody in the United States from working more, So
and
like,
I agree.
it might be only a month that you need to grind. It might be, like it's all temporary. And I think, whether it's good or bad, it's temporary. Whether that temporary is 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, it's all temporary. I think and that's very, very humbling, right? So, yeah, man, I think it's just like you can outwork yourself into a better life.
And like I met you in the pandemic, and it was just random how I met you. Like I DM'd you. I'm not even expecting you to respond to my DM because I'm like, man, this guy's probably expensive. You're just like, just show up, man. And I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, just show up. I'm
yeah,
like, all right, I'm gonna show up. And you gave me that aspect, like, bro, he just told me to show up, bro. He's not asking for a dime for me. So
right,
every time I've seen you and worked out, super grateful. I'm gonna go hard. I'm
right,
gonna ask questions. I'm gonna take it to the street, and I'm definitely gonna use the tools that you're giving me to become a professional because you met me when I wasn't a professional.
right, right.
So just to see me now is just different.
That's cool. It's cool to see, man. I think I think that came from when I first started training MMA years ago. I told my instructor, I'm like, hey, Bo, I don't have money. I'll pick up like bottle, like I was gonna hustle. I'm like, I'll pick up all the recycling here, and then I'll recycle and give you some money. So no, no, just show up, man. Just show up. Like, he was always like that. I'm like, what do I pay you? He's like, just whatever, just show up. He was always like that. And I always felt like maybe that from that experience, I was like, well, man, I better show up. I better go in there, get in the cage, and get beat up by these guys because like
Yeah.
this guy's like putting himself out there for me, And then like I've always like from then on, I've always just like when I have the opportunity to put people on, I'm gonna do it. Because it didn't hurt me to have a young athlete work out with me. It helped me. I'm like, all right, well, shit, I gotta be on my shit too. I got these 20-year-old guys getting after it. So to this day, I still do it. I have guys who hit me. I'm like, yeah, just come train. If you keep up with those
Yep.
guys, then you can stay. If you can't, then you gotta get out of here.
And it's hard to find people like that, like you though. Like just show up. And you are a person like if you're gonna show up and work hard, I'll work hard for you as well. I'll do the most for you.
Right,
But you'll feel that too from different people like, nah, he don't want he's not that serious.
right, right. Yeah. So I try to be my best, and I just hope like when guys like you ask me, what can I do in return? I'm like, when this opportunity comes from you, like just give what you can too. It's not about like, always taking. I think like, yeah, we need to make money and stuff, but I think it's like that stuff like makes me feel like a good person. So
Hmm. I agree.
yeah. So yeah, man. So that's it, huh? You got that quote. Cool, man. So what's next for you today? What do you got?
Today I'm gonna go train a kid, a young kid, he's 12. Um, he's like in the he's a great player.
Mhm.
I think his individual skills got to get a little bit better. So that's why we're doing like one-on-one trainings. I also have him train with my kid Alex that I've been training for 3 years. Alex is exceptionally good. Alex is a dog. He yells and curses that he'll make you feel bad. So for them to compete makes my other kid get better. So I'm gonna do that today. And then I'm gonna have coaching for about 3 hours, and then I'm gonna go home, relax, and then show up tomorrow, go PT, train, do what I gotta do, man. Handle my business. I'm not overworking myself, trust me.
Yeah. One more thing, like what does that look like when do you ever have it where you have like an Asian kid, an Asian parent, a black kid, and a black parent? Like what is that like dynamic like?
I think that dynamic is dope. I
Yeah,
like I like seeing that. I think that if you could mix the cultures together,
yeah,
and you get to see the difference in between the two, and at a young age, it'll make you a better person too.
yeah,
Because I tell my kids now, like we just had a tournament this past weekend. We played an all black team. Um, I wouldn't say they had all the talent in the world, but did not have a good coach. Like you give me those players and I'm coaching, I would blowing everybody out in this tournament. But I'm like, you guys gotta understand, these kids are hungry. Like this is all they know. Because I remember being that kid. You guys in the Asian community, your parents are well, like I'm having kids pull up, parents are doctors.
yeah,
Um, So every parent got a Tesla, you know what I mean? So they're all well, they're given like not I'm not saying it's handed to them. They're still
Right,
working for it, but it's different than what you see from these other kids. So
right,
I love to tell my kids like, man, be grateful. If anything, use what you have and take it to your advantage because a lot of these kids don't have access to this.
right,
So they get humbled quickly if I have a mixture.
yeah,
Because I got a few players I train that are some dog mentality, talking, barking. And some of these Asian kids, I'm not saying just Asian, but a little bit softer.
wherever they are.
It's like a little bit pat in the back. And then you got some kids that are really about that too.
Right.
So, but I just think it's dope to just mix the cultures together, man, because I've been around the world, man. I've had the opportunity to be in different cultures, and you need to learn that. Like, I think that's a good skill to have.
Yeah, at least for us in like the West Coast, you already have a touch of that before, like
Yep.
that because there's places where like, I don't know them specifically, but like they may never have seen a black person or a Chinese person. They're like, what the heck,
Yep.
there's places like that, right? So that's just like crazy that we grew up here, So like you said, like there's all kinds of crap going on in California, but this is like the place with the most opportunity, man. You can make it out.
It's the land of opportunity, man.
Yeah. So what are some ways people can get a hold of you? Email, Instagram, what do we got?
The best place to get a hold of me is probably Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't really give my number out to too many people. I switch my number a lot, but I would say Instagram. I wouldn't even say email. It would just be Instagram, man. I'm on Instagram a lot. It's probably the only social media platform I have. I
Yeah.
have Facebook, but I don't look at Facebook.
Yeah. That's cool, man. All right. Well, yeah, dude, thanks for your time, man.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, man. I'll have to go out there and visit you or whatever. I'll be freed up soon. So
I'll have to set something up, man. You come over there and do something for the kids, some skills, because they like strength and conditioning, they're not good at. I try to incorporate like 10 minutes. So if you can go in there and give us an hour and a half, 2 hours, man, we would love that.
we'll do it, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.
All right, later.
All right, appreciate